Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I'm going through my email, so I'm answering questions right now. Well, you're going to remain anonymous because I don't know if you want to be known or not. So, and then on top of that, this question, it might be more people who want to know this question. So for the most part, shout you out. But this was the question a person asked, and they said how to locate the planets at night in a nutshell, or how to just locate the other planets in general. Alright, so the first thing you need to understand is, alright, you are within a 360, right? So it doesn't matter where you at on the Earth, you have your own 360. So if you want to know where any other, like further away stars or further away planets, if you want to know where they're at in the daytime, you have to correlate to the sun. If you want to know where the other stars and planets is at nighttime, we have to correlate to the moon. Because here's the thing. The sun and the moon are the closest representations to us. So it's like our spirits ride bodies of light. So if your spirit is going more into the intellect, it's like once you get consciously aware of this, then that leads you to somewhere else, aka another vibrational space where a bunch of stars is at. Once you get consciously aware of that, that leads you to somewhere else. Now, each star represents its own conscious awareness. So when we talk about the sun, it brings conscious awareness because it deals with light, sight, in this realm of reality for us. So the spirit within that body is carrying out characteristics of the lights how we perceive in this realm of reality. So for the most part, the sun is knowing where the sun is at and knowing where the moon is at. You can kind of correlate to things. Now look, when you talk about the houses, right? Now each 12 house is the 360. So wherever you're standing, right, look at it like a house perspective. So if you're looking straight ahead, look at that like your first house or any house. And when you look completely opposite, when you do a 360 and completely turn your back and look this way, you're looking at the opposite house. So let's just say if you're looking at the first house right now, when you do a complete 360, you're looking at the 7th house. So now you know how you split the pie in half, the 360 in half. Now you know how to break it down for space and how much space each one can share, because you know when you do a complete 180 and look the opposite away, right, you're looking at the opposite sign. So now you know how much room to give each space. So if you're looking at the first house right now, now look, you'll know that'd be the 12th house, 11th house, 10th house, 9th house, 8th house, 7th house, 6th house, 7th house. Boom. Even when you go this side, right? 2nd house, 3rd house, 4th house, 5th house, 6th house, boom, 7th house. So now that you know how much room to get each space, when you look up in the sky relative to you, you know which each star you're perceiving, you know what house is in. So now you know what kind of characteristics and things that it play out. So for an example, all right, now if you want to know where, say you want to know where Venus is at nighttime, and you ain't got a telescope, but you just want to channel it and receive the energies if you go out and stargaze or something like that, or space gaze. But you want to specifically channel Venus. You want to be looking in the area wherever Venus is at. For the most part right now, Venus is in Taurus. So in the daytime, right, in the daytime, the sun is in Aries. So in the daytime, wherever the sun is at, look at that like that's the space is in. So if Taurus is right next to Aries, that means Venus is in the space right next to where the sun perceived to be when it's rising. See what I'm saying? When it's rising, not when it's traveling through the houses, when it's rising through the first house. See what I'm saying? So that's how so for an example, when the sun is rising and you go outside, right, and you see where the sun at, the very next space, that's the whole area where Venus is at. That's where Venus is at today. See what I'm saying? That's where the fuck Venus is at. Now, for the most part, and it's traveling. Now at nighttime, you will correlate to the moon, right? Because by the time it turned nighttime, we didn't have rotated. We were away from the sun. So now you got to go towards the house position. I mean the moon house position. So let's say today the moon is in Taurus also, right? So basically, when you have seen, and you could correlate to this, when the sun rose today, right? The sun rose in the house of Aries at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's gradually transitioning now to Taurus. But so right now it's like 7 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Really probably like 7:30 in the morning. The sunrise in that perspective, because Taurus is starting to slide into the first house aspect. The more it goes into the Taurus sign. You see what I'm saying? So, for an example, but let's just break it down right now. So in the morning, when you see the sun rise, that's actually where the moon is at. That's actually at nighttime where you see the moon is at. So once we rotate, the moon gonna be there, but the sun is away from there because we know the sun is traveling through space. But for the most part, the moon is in Taurus right now. So wherever the moon is at, right? Wherever the moon is at nighttime, it's in the same space as Venus right now. So when you're looking at the moon, somewhere behind it or around it or some, because how many degrees is the moon? It's 6 degrees Taurus. And how many degrees is Venus? Venus is 20 degrees Taurus. So it's going to be a little ahead. But you have to look at it as far as space. So Venus is a little closer to the Gemini, going into the Gemini space, than the moon at this point. So at nighttime today, when you go look at the moon, kind of look a little bit over a little bit, and you will see Venus. And you can channel Venus. And that's how you know where Venus is at. You see what I'm saying? Mars is in Capricorn. So, like I said, if the moon is in Taurus at nighttime, when you see the moon at night, the moon is in that house. So now you got to look at the space. So now I'm not saying specifically Taurus house, but look, this is how you got to correlate it. It's like layers. It's just in that space. But knowing what the sign, you knowing how many spaces away to look for it if you ain't got a telescope. So if Mars is in Capricorn and Taurus, and the moon is in Taurus, then you gotta look at it like this. Okay, the moon is right here. So boom, I gotta go back. I gotta go boom. Aries, boom. Pisces, boom. Aquarius, boom. Capricorn, boom. So in that location, looking straight ahead from the moon, when you look in this location straight ahead, you're going to be correlating and channeling the space that Mars is in right now. So that's how you find that. So if you had a telescope, I bet if you got a telescope, you will know right where Mars is at. You see what I'm saying? And then you won't need nobody motherfucking help. And once you get on this train and know how long it takes for each planet to be in each sign, you won't even need a software anymore. You can just go outside and feel the energy, like, oh, okay, boom, oh, the sun here, oh, boom, oh yeah, we in this season, so the sun here, boom, so yeah, Mars took this long to get there, so oh, Mars must be right here right now, but like, you'll already be on task, you know what I'm saying? But we don't do that in these civilizations, and we create a bunch of things to make it easier. So we don't know real time anymore, so we created clocks. We can't remember phone numbers no more, so we created motherfucking your phone index and things of that nature. So that's why I'm glad that motherfucking one thing can continue going. What was them hoverboards? Yeah, because eventually we was gonna start leaning independent on that shit to walk. But for the most part, yeah, that's how you locate the planets without no astronomer. You can just basically go outside your own frequency vibration, look at the closest stars, channel them, and you can channel them and go through them and locate the other stars and know what frequency vibration you in with no software. You see what I'm saying? Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air. Hee hee.